Welcome back to another video. Today we'll be talking about the league race for the Italian Scudetto, and it's down to the wire. Today, Napoli ended up dropping points. They drew against Genoa. Scott McTominay had a man of the match performance. Lukaku ended up scoring, and Raspadori as well. But they ended up getting that late equalizer by Genoa. Vasquez ended up scoring in the 84th minute, and Inter also played today, but they didn't end up playing their most used 11. They really rotated the squad, and they ended up winning a comfortable 2-0 to Torino. So now looking at the league table, it does bring them to 1 point to Napoli. This is going to be a very tight finish to the Italian league campaign, with Inter's last two games being against Lazio and then the last day, which is Como. Lazio are in the top five, and just like the Premier League, there are a few teams, especially third to ninth place. I think that you can say fourth to ninth place. They're all separated by about 4 to 5 points. So this is going to be very interesting to see who ends up getting into the European spots. And Lazio going to face Inter, and it will most likely be in the San Siro, with Como being on the final day against Inter. This is interesting, right? Because yes, Napoli still do have that 1 point lead, but at the depth of the season, you would be more comfortable with a 3 to a 4 point lead. Like you see in La Liga, Barcelona ended up getting the victory today, which pushed them to 7 points ahead in the league standings, with Napoli's final two games looking like Parma and Cagliari. I think that they will win those games, but again, this is football. You cannot really predict what will end up happening come the final day. This is going to come to the wire, I think. We might see Napoli lose. Maybe they might draw. I think Inter's hardest game for sure will be against Lazio. That's the game that, for me, if Lazio end up pulling out a win, which would take away 3 valuable points, and then Napoli end up winning, I think it's basically over. I don't think Napoli can even bottle it at that point. Yeah, mathematically they physically can't bottle it at that point. They'd be ahead by 4 points. If Inter were to win their last game and Napoli were to lose it, they would still be ahead by 1. And that would be like the Premier League season we saw, where that Manchester City team ended up winning by 1 point. Gut-wrenching stuff to see. But this is going to be a very funny end to the season. The teams that are still in contention are Fiorentina at 59, Milan at 60, Bologna at 62, Roma at 63, Lazio at 64, Juventus at 64, and Atalanta at 68. I think Atalanta should be good unless they manage to drop the last 3 games, in a row. The other team that can bounce above Atalanta possibly, no, Roma at 63. So it's going to be interesting to see how Roma, Milan, this is going to be a very good end to the season, and I will be making sure to follow and track this, because I love when football gets like this. It's tight. It's the end of the season. Everyone's fatigued. Someone can slip up, and teams that you didn't think could get into it, like Bologna, if they manage to get through, that would be great. And then Fiorentina as well, for the season that they had, to go out against Betis in the semifinal in a very, very good game. It's going to be very interesting to see how this final few games can go for the Italian Scudetto. But in my opinion, I think Napoli will still manage to come out on top and get their second Scudetto in about 4 years. And we got to give Conte a lot of respect, man. I mean, first season, he's really changed this team. He's brought players from England. The one that everyone knows is Scott McTominay. I think the Italian fans, they understand his worth. I think the United fans felt he was very important, but it just kind of felt like he wasn't going to be that type of player. But again, when you lose faith in a player, it does destroy their confidence. But now he seems to have that rejuvenated energy, and he's back to playing at a phenomenal level. I mean, I think he's in the top 3 or top 4 in the assist brackets. Let me just check that really quickly. Lukaku is number 1 in assists. Wow, that is actually impressive. So Scott McTominay actually does have the highest rating at 7.45 overall in the entire campaign. So he is Retegui with 24. I got to be honest, man. This guy had a great campaign. 24 goals in the campaign. So Scott McTominay is in the top 10 for goals with 11. 0 non-penalty goals. Let me just check how many Retegui has. I'm just going to say that. So he should really be at 20. I'm just playing. Retegui, great campaign. The player behind him is Moise Kean. Moise Kean, he's had a great campaign. Really, really solid campaign, man. Fiorentina has really done something here that I think they can work with for next season. I think Moise Kean has found his home in Italy. I don't think he should come back to the Prem. I think once you come back to the Prem, it's a different ball game. It's a different way of playing. I think he's found his home, which is in Italy. Just stick to the Italian clubs. Maybe go to Inter. Maybe go to AC Milan. Maybe go to Juventus, right? Fiorentina, they've given him, the reins for the attack, and he has really come back and given them a great platform and only 1 penalty goal. So he's had a really, really stellar campaign. Big shout out to him. But the man of the hour that I'm trying to really highlight is Scott McTominay. I got to say this too, guys. Matteo Retegui, 31 goals and assists. Wow. I got to give it to him, man. This boy's been playing. Retegui's, he's going to be on you guys' radar, man. He might be going to maybe Inter, maybe Juve, maybe a step up. Maybe he sticks to Atalanta. Who knows? But Gasperini has a great squad. I think that they'll qualify for the Champions League next season. But I'll be sure to bring you guys more content around the final days of the Italian Scudetto. So let's see how this goes. I really appreciate you guys' support. Let me know in the comment section what you want to see next. Football Sage signing out. Football Sage signing out.